Değerli misafirlerim,
Valued guests, the great Mutasawwif, our mentor, Kenan Rifai Hazrat, welcome to the International Symposium, and going through the door of mercy, I'll try to do my best as my duty. Kenan Rifai was born in Salonika in 1867. He was the son of Hatice Cenan and Haji Abdul Halim. His father was the son of Haji Hassan, a member of a dynastic family from Philippa. His first spiritual guide was his mother, Hatice Cenan, who opened the gate of spiritual world and the road to Allah for him. She had addressed to him like this: "You will love people. You have the endless treasures of forgiveness, mercy, and tolerance in you. Therefore, you will love not only humans but all living creatures with the same tireless speed and endless desire. You have to spend the abilities that you have generously. You love people by joining them and by being with them, both in their mistakes and deeds. You'll be one of them to such a degree that you will increase with their births and lessen with their deaths. Your mission as a human is to lead people to an ideal, collective, and sincere aim, a sincere goal. The shortest, the best, and the greatest paths among many is perhaps the path of love and faith as the greatest path. The only gate for salvation is always the unlimited love of humanity. Men can reach perfection from humanity to divinity and in short to Allah only from this path." Later on, Hatice Cenan Hanım handed her son to her own Murshid, Sheikh Adhem Effendi. Thus, Kenan Rifai's spiritual personality was led by these two Murshids as it reached maturity and perfection. After graduating from Galatasaray High School at the age of 19, he started life as the principal of Balıkesir High School. After 11 months, he was promoted as the principal of education in Adana, and from there as the principal of education in Konya with an even higher salary. It appears that the powerful Murshid had felt the necessity of a farewell visit to his young Murshid. In the following months, while the principal of education in Manastır, one day his Murshid, Kadri Sheikh Adhem Effendi, had come to Manastır from Philippa. This was the last meeting of these two great people on earth. While he was principal of education in Manastır, Kenan Rifai's Murshid passed away. He felt the need to visit him one last time. And during his time in Manastır, Murshid Adhem Effendi passed away, informing him from the spiritual realm that he had left this world and left him as his successor. It happened that the principal of education, who was on leave in Istanbul, was designated to Üsküp. Our principal of education was designated from Üsküp to Trabzon and went to Trabzon via Istanbul. 3 months after being designated as the principal of Numune-i Terakki, another direction in the spiritual plan was pointed out. This time, the direction was Medine-i Munawwara. The principal of Numune-i Terakki was now nearly 30 years old. The people of Medina loved this young principal so much that they shortly gave him the name of Father of Medina in a short while. In Medina, Hamza Rifai had admired his person, who had come to boil and matured in Adhem Effendi's pot of love since the beginning. As he specified in the text of the authorization he has given, Hamza Rifai was assigned to this circumstance by Rasulullah. Thus, one day Kenan Rifai was legally appointed as the principal of Idadi Hamidi after he had received authorization with the accustomed ceremony. Hamza Rifai said, "I do not know who is Who is whose murshid? You mine or me yours? I don't know. That's what he said. We see the Medina people bidding farewell to the mother and the son after 4 years spent in Medina. With a lot of tears. The journey took 30 days on the same camel. During the journey, he had read many poems, made musical compositions, and sang them with his incomparable voice.
Ki biraz önce dinlemiş olduğumuz bir nokta idim.
The divine songs that we just heard is composed, one of his poems composed. In Istanbul, the Ministry of Education has chosen that this precious employee should work in the headquarters. He was first assigned as a French teacher at the school called Erkek Muallim Mektebi, and after a short period of time, he was assigned as a member of the Committee of Tetkikat-i İlmiye. Now, his beloved friend, the supporter of his goal, Dr. Server Hilmi Bey, who had studied with him while in Galatasaray High School, is also by his side. The year of 1908, Kenan Rifai is 41 years old. They decide to start the construction of the Dargah building with his mother, Hatice Cenan. They decide to build the Dargah in the garden of a mansion his father Halim Bey had bought in Fatih district. After a while, they succeed in completing the building. Kenan Rifai had easily received the authorization from the legal authorities to start teaching and instructing in this Dargah building without any obstacle, without any problem. While the new management of 1908 monarchy gave the permission for opening the Dargah, the Ministry of Education assigned this experienced and skillful educator as the principal of Darüşşafaka. After opening his Dargah in 1908, we see him again on the road to Medina. However, this time his mother stayed in Istanbul. Even though Kenan Rifai had not talked to anyone about this journey, this time the people of Medina, who loved him so much and called him the father of Medina, filled the train station, which was newly built for welcoming him. So they filled the train station to embrace and welcome him. After a short period of time, Kenan Rifai returned to Istanbul from his second journey to Medina. On his farewell to visit monastery, his Sheikh Hadrat Edhem had told Kenan Rifai, "Do not keep this spirituality to yourself, spread it to people, share it with people." He had thought about what he should do after this command and had visited the dervish lodges with his close friend from Galatasaray High School, examining the rules and basics and determining the order of the Dargah that will soon be opening. Thus, the Dargah, consisting of the Haram and Selamlik and founded with the name of Altay Dargah, started operating with the name the Dargah of Kenan, meaning the mother of Kenan. 2 years after the spiritual guidance, that is Irshad, had begun, Wednesdays were assigned for conversations with women, Thursdays for Mesnavi explanations, and Friday evenings for dhikr with men. The lessons in Dargah were so influential that the Mevlevi Huns start to attend the classes, and the news reached Konya. The Çelebi family was moved by what they heard and gave the authorization of Mevlevi. Thus, Kenan Rifai, who is the sheikh of the three dervish orders, Kadiri, Shazili, and Mevlevi, composed his poems with his love. We learn from his grandson, Cemil Büyükaksoy Bey, that he sometimes read the Shazili Evrad, but generally they read Rifai Evrad and performed the Rifai dhikrs. Again, from Cemil Bey, we learned that Friday nights were determined as dhikr nights. This determination was made by Hatice Cenan, and it was paid close attention that it was not on the same dhikr nights of the other tekkas in the same neighborhood. The Dargah of Kenan, which was built in 1908, continued to operate for 17 years until 1925, when the Dargahs were closed. So it was active for 17 years. Actually, Kenan Rifai saw the Dargahs that were closed as a dry form and ceremony of a dervish order institution that had completed its era. There were more than 300 Dargahs in Istanbul alone at the time of the order to close down the Dargahs. Kenan Rifai shared his opinion about this closure, saying that Dargahs will be opened one day, but they will be opened as academies. Following the closing order, with alterations made on the inside of Dargah and on the Sema house, living places for the family were formed, which lasted about 80 years. The Holy Dargah was left alone with a danger of collapsing for about 100 years. In the year 1988, during the construction of the mansion, it was heard that the heir to Dargah put it up for sale, and his spiritual children took action to prevent it from falling in the hands of foreigners. The buildings, which was assessed at $228,000 by its heir, was bought on behalf of Cenan Foundation with money that was gathered by the great efforts of the deceased Meşkure Sargut and her daughter Cemalnur Sargut. The relief works that were the groundwork for the architectural projects of the building that was built had been completed many years earlier by his adopted architect children. It was essential to reconstruct the building that was in danger of collapsing and that was legally the property of Cenan Foundation. The amount of $400,000 needed for the construction was again provided by the enamored companions, again with the great efforts of Meşkure Hanım and Cemalnur Hanım. The construction continued between the years of 2005 and 2007, which was with difficulty, and was completed on October 3rd, 2007, on 21st day of Ramadan after the iftar. The opening was with the prayers, and God bless those who contributed to opening, who contribute materially and spiritually. Hacı Halim Bey, the father of Kenan Rifai, had built two mansions upon arrival to Istanbul. One of them was in Gedikpaşa and the other was in Fatih, Iskender neighborhood, Kırtay Street, number 9. After opening of the Dargah of Kenan in 1908, the mansion in which the family had lived and which was used as harem until 1922 was really old and could not be used as a household. In those years, the deceased Ekrem Hakkı Ayverdi was a young architect at the beginning of his career. The mansion was constructed according to the new project by Ekrem Bey. The old wooden building was used for 75 years and renewed, keeping the facade by his family between January 2, 1997 and July 7, 1998. They kept the external look the same, and it started to be used by the family. The Dargah building that was built in 1908 was a two-story wooden building. The main bearer of the building that was reconstructed and reopened in 2007 is steel. Wooden coating was placed over the steel building. And additionally, a basement was built. Kenan Rifai had a model made showing the inner side of the Dargah when it was first constructed. The photographs of the inside parts of the model, which is still present, were really useful during the decoration, and a later perfect imitation was attempted. The quantities and the location of the places were preserved as a principle. The dining hall at the right of the entrance was used for eating and for giving away food on Fridays, has become a library today. It has 13,000 pieces, 13,000 books. The room at the left side was a coffee room. Later on, it became the room of the Tomb of Happiness. At that time, the tomb of Hatice Cenan Sultan was at the left side of the entrance. The coffee room was used as a place for sitting and drinking coffee by the brethren before the dergah opened. Kenan Bey used to chat there, to have sohbet with the visitors. Today, this room is allocated to the management of the Cenan Foundation. A tea room was added to this floor. The basement that was built additionally is arranged as a conference hall and a foyer for 120 people. The Sema house, located at the right of the first floor, was constructed and decorated according to the original. On this floor, the two rooms at the left side are arranged to exhibit the personal belongings of Kenan Rifai. At the second floor of the building, at the right side, stands the entrance of the upper floor, Maksura, surrounding the Sema house, and at the left side, there are two meeting rooms. Between the basement floor and the second floor, an elevator was built so that the older people could easily tour the museum. A passage was made from the Maksura surrounding the Sema house on the second floor to the mansion. This passage was present in old Dargah building as well. This passage was a bridge between the Harem and Selamlik that is connecting the mansion and Dargah. I'd like to conclude my speech with a point that had a profound effect on me, that had a huge influence on me. The date is October 6, 2006. The external rough construction was completed. The fine work was started. The most important construction work was the construction and the placement of the dome. A group of 70, 80 spiritual children of Kenan Rifai who had contributed both spiritually and materially were present. When the dome that was prepared started to be pulled to its place with a hoist, verses from Quran were being read, hymns were being chanted, and prayers were being made. The people who were present there could not help their tears of happiness when they saw the amazing sight of the light scattered by the flames of the welding during the mounting of the dome. This is the short story of the rising up of the Dargah of Kenan after 100 years. The building was completed on October 3rd, 2007 and was opened with prayers on Ramadan 21st. By this date, the Dargah of Kenan is being used as Cenan Eğitim, Education, Culture and Health Foundation, and it is being used as Cenan Education, Culture and Health Foundation and Kenan Rifai Tasawwuf Research Institute. I salute you all with warm regards.